I do believe we are alive. So I'll say, indeed. And greetings unto you, beloved and holy friend. Thank you for joining me again on another conscious evolution. Today's stream topic is going to be about the reward for our work, not being the thing we get at the end of it, but the person we become during it. Hmm? I believe it's a stoic quote, but that's going to be our thing today. This does look like a good scene, especially if I do it like that. All right, that does look good, but this is the way I intended to do it, at least at first. I wanted to do it like this, like like this. I don't know if I should punch in more. Let's see. Maybe like so. Maybe like that. Is that going to be the scene? But I do want to do something different today. I feel like I'm feeling a little bit more experimental. Yeah, that's it. Hey, Simon. Such a cool you, dude. The garden is just a garden. There's a lot to complain about, if you will, in this garden as well. So the fact that you find the beauty in it is what makes it beautiful. Thank you for joining me. I'm gonna get myself set up. I don't know how this is going to work exactly, but I got all my stuff, so I'll have to figure it out. Maybe not knock my oh, bro, I was just talking about not knocking my stuff off. Well, ain't no way but to do it. Get off of my rock to go get my cup. I might just leave my cup on the ground, actually. That's fine. If I get real thirsty, we can lean down for some. There. Yeah, you're success. At least somewhat so. Let me see if I can get this. Shimmy there. The stand can get extended a little bit. Yeah, this could work. I think I might have to hold on to it, but it seems to be doing the gerb. I have signal here as well, so I can technically do what I'm supposed to do. Yeah. This is perfect. This is exactly the scene I want. This makes me happy. I'm just incognito enough that I don't have to think about focus too much. But I also see Kitty not being properly in frame. I feel like a part of me is getting a little bit sitting on the wiry. Like, what am I supposed to do? Do I want to get up or right? You know what? Yeah, I am. Composition is important, right? Okay. We'll do it just a little bit. Just a little bit. Don't you worry, Kitty. Don't you worry. Yeah, there we go. Kitty view. Is this the best perspective? Is my question though. Yeah. I think definitely we're welcome to ADHD cam. Kitty in frame. Got the mountains with the light on them. Yeah. That's it. Thank you, Shelby. Let's do this. Okay. Today's stream topic: the reward for the work we do is not what we get at the end of it, but who we become. Feels one of those things where it is, I don't want to call it just like different for everyone. There's a little spider on my vaporizer right now. Such a cute little dude. Hey, Peppy, you silly girl. Hey, silly Billy. Hey, you. Hey, you silly. I'm trying to get my stuff oriented so that she doesn't bump them. Got a little spotter. I don't think you want to be on that. There you go. My mind feels scattered. My mind feels scattered. I don't exactly know how I'm supposed to feel today. Had a nice meal with the family. Bessel did some cooking. Slept well. Washed the dishes this morning. Felt good about that. Listened to some music and washed the dishes. So felt like I was kind of like in the whole zone. Guess I'm just feeling lazy, to be completely honest. That like end of December, your social battery is a little bit worn. Tiredness, not tired like physically or even mentally. Maybe a little bit mental tiredness, like a sense of lethargy. Puppy being so freaking cute. So blessed to have these little animals around me right now. Maybe I should take their lead. Yeah, kitty. Yeah, you're teaching me. You're teaching me how to be super calm, super chillaxed. What's up, Melt? Why are you stressing, dude? Why are you stressing? Ain't nothing to stress about. Love is true, Mel, don't you know? Meow meow. What's a kitty? Yeah, sweetie, sweetie. What's up? What you saying, sweetie cat? Mm? Yeah. What you saying? Saying meow? Let me switch to all messages. It's only you and me in chat, Simon. How about that, dude? I think Joy V might still be sleeping. She did mention this morning that she's not going to join us for yoga, so I feel like we're all kind of like in that recovery mode right now. The holidays ask a lot out of our folks, a lot out of folks. You add travel and family and tension on top of all of that. Being tired is normal, I think, Mel. Thank you, Sam. Thank you for validating. That's the word, right? For validating my tiredness. Thank you, friends, for still joining me despite my tiredness. It's nice having you here. The process of becoming that we are a part of. I feel it's difficult to see it that way sometimes, right? So easy to get caught up on what the physical rewards are going to be for our efforts. I feel the topic is such a wide one and it's almost like I get stuck. Sam is sharing some wisdom in chat right now, saying, I got into such a habit of dismissing how I felt because there was no reason I could perceive why I'd be feeling that way. We lock ourselves off from growth when we do that. I'm trying to apply that to today's stream topic as well, right? To reframe what you just said to me, Sam, as like, sometimes we dismiss the person we're becoming because we're not earning the rewards we think we deserve for our efforts. Maybe even something as simple as just, understanding and being compassionate with your own self during your journey of becoming who you are. A little bit more compassionate, a little bit more patient, a little bit more calm and caring and accepting of ourselves. A little bit less harsh, right? Like I'm feeling tired and kind of like I'm not on my A game. Like I can't give you friends as much stoke. I feel weirdly enough, this setup also changes my energy output. Like this feels like lower stakes. Like usually when I'm close to the camera and you can see me, it's almost like my mind spins up faster, where it's like I have to be even more entertaining. What does it mean to be entertained? Is it novelty? Something new you haven't seen before, haven't heard before? Is it noise? Is it just novel noise or interesting noise? Just something instead of nothing? Is it a necessity? Do we need to be entertained? Why do we keep seeking that? And like thinking about my journey into becoming this version of self as well, right? Like what steps did I have to take to become this version of myself? All right, what work have I been doing and how has that work contributed to who I am right now? Thinking about how as a child I was very fascinated and interested in content. I heard PewDiePie talk today about his child and people asking him what content he's showing his child, and him mentioning that he's not showing his child any content at all at that point of his life. He's still like a baby, right? And his reasoning was that as soon as the kid realizes there is this like world of content that is the internet, it's like game over. Then the ability to show interest in the outside world and the things of the outside world becomes exponentially more difficult. And I was like very curious about that because my parents didn't have that frame of reference, right? So basically, at the age of 6, I got into computers. Uh, not like technically, but experientially. I understood how to use computers, how to work my way around a user interface at the age of 6. I wasn't programming or anything like that. And it became like a very big part of my day to day and the experience that I wanted to have. And then when we moved, to Groblersdal, this area we're living in right now, when I was 8, we got for the first time internet. My dad doesn't believe in cable television or whatever. He believes it's, yeah, let's just say that. Add your own blanks. And internet was the better alternative. So I've had access to the internet since I was like an 8-year-old. And pretty much like the longest I really went without full access to the internet was when I was in China. But I pretty much went my whole life having access to entertainment, right? Content. So much so that it eventually, I want to say, colored, dyed, dyed my soul, into something that wants to kind of like create more of the same. I've been touched seriously. I've like my life has literally been changed by people who chose to upload things to the internet. And I didn't get anything, right? Not technically. In this work, you can call it I call it work, right? Like I do believe that exposing yourself to information is exhausting work, especially if you're trying to absorb it and apply it to your life. Like the work I've done, I'm not getting anything for it, right? There's not going to be anybody at the end of my life is going to give me a big old medal for all of the work that I've done. It is who I'm becoming. And it's a trip because I'm so painfully aware of the amount of change I've already been through. Just thinking back through the short life that I've lived, thinking about living 3 more of these lifetimes, thinking about the amount of different people I have been in this one lifetime, right? A lifetime is like 20 years, right? 20, 25 years. That's a life sentence, surely. So I've had one life sentence and I've been like 50 different people. How many more people will I become? And I'll get to share, this becoming of different people with you friends as well, as Meltmore morphs into different Mensa. Mensa is the Afrikaans word for people. As Meltmore morphs into different people, how will you friends change alongside me? How will we stay the same? Maybe that's also an interesting thing, right? As we become who we truly are, which parts of ourselves that we are right now are going to stay the same? And can we mindfully try and cultivate those parts of ourselves a little bit more proactively in these days? With our low bandwidth connection to ourselves. Because I believe that that's the biggest problem we're facing right now. Is we don't get to really tangibly see our becoming. It's so gradual. It happens so slowly that we kind of ignore it. It becomes noise. Duck Dad, what a blessing it is to have you here, bro. What do you feel, Duck? Are you in disagreement with today's stream topic? Because I know if you're a dad, right, that needs to put food on the table, maybe the process of becoming becomes a little bit more secondary. Maybe your priorities have to shift. Maybe you cannot afford to just dedicate your energy into evolving. You have to provide. I'm thinking about a conversation I had with my dad, Duck Dad. On the way here, it was me and Trudeau and my dad in the car. And after the stream, got turned off, we kind of went for it. We had some serious chats with my dad. And most of it was, chats communicating our concern, watching the relationship between my mom and my dad, and not not liking what we're seeing, wanting better for them. Sorry about that. And it's a trippy experience to feel like that level of understanding of my brother. Felt very seen by him as well. Felt very truthful, very genuine in our delivery of the information we were experiencing to my dad too. And then last night, me, my dad, and Ruda, we sat down and we vaporized a little bit of bud together. First some strawberry runs and then some of the strawberry sour diesel. Wanted to share those two with them and like seeing them having a good time, having a conversation about. We had a few conversations about God's love and so forth as well. Had some conversations about the ripple effects that people have on each other's lives and how I would like to, how not only like to, but I'm fascinated with the ability that we human beings have to touch other people's lives. Made the analogy of the bud that we were vaping at that moment, right? That the fact that that bud exists means that somebody out there in the world put in the effort to grow it. And they didn't know that in that moment it would be a dad and his two sons vaporizing that weed together, having a good time, right? Feeling close to one another, having good conversations, becoming a little bit more comfortable with this altered state of mind, And like all of us articulated, we weren't getting like lost. We were just feeling a little bit more calm, allowing ourselves this little bit of softness. And again, right, the person who grew that bud couldn't have known maybe could imagine, but couldn't have known the amount of effect it would have on the world. And yet, their work, sure, they might have been rewarded by a few rands, a few dollar amounts for every gram they grew. But the true reward is the amount of becoming, right? The experience, the depth of life. Like, this is one of the things I articulated to my dad, mentioning that I believe God, if there is such a thing. I don't believe in God as an entity, right? Like a binary, one of the sides, like binary, like a man, a body out there somewhere. I don't think of God in that way. But if there is such a God and he created this world, right, intentionally, if you will, I believe he would give us marijuana as a medicine. And one of the things that he would love us for, right, and this is me trying to resonate slash articulate in a way that my dad can absorb the information I'm trying to share with him, that not only does God love us for who we are, but God loves us for the way that we love his creation. The fact that every single one of us, me, my brother, and my dad, have endocannabinoid receptors, but probably in different concentrations, in different places, in different parts of our bodies. And we have different states of mind coming into it. We have different experiences, in our process of becoming. And all of that information leads into this experience that we're having. And again, my belief is love is true. So all that God wants from you is your love for this experience that you're having, right? Again, this awareness that we are participating within, I do believe is God's essence, the spirit living through the body, right? And again, the process of becoming, seeing like my dad becoming a little bit more open-minded and considerate of these experiences, like hearing him say himself, right, that he would rather smoke a little bit of bud than drink gin. Like, and hearing him articulate that, like almost like it was like an epiphany for him, being like, huh. Because I mentioned to them how expensive the bud is, relatively to what we had. Like, we used to have, our own bud, and it wasn't bad. It was pretty strong, but it had elements missing, right? Temperature control elements missing. And being able to share these experiences with them and seeing like the difference and seeing them notice the difference, but not having, at least not yet, the vocabulary to articulate what they're experiencing. I look forward to being able to share more with them. Both of them thanked me for sharing, my bud with them, and I want to do more of that stuff. I want to share bud with you, friends. That's where my mind's going right now. I feel like I was bamboozled into an interview, and you just spoke some truth to my core. I've been going through similar when you said I've been 25 people in one lifetime. Damn dog. Your love, bro. It's fine to be different people, you know. The ego the ego will morph and melt into different versions of itself if it means that you get to continue to survive. That's why we shouldn't hate our egos. We should just melt our egos, right? Melting something means that you get to keep the original materials. You're just left with a molten form of that which you are. And something that is melted, something that is liquid, is easily cast into different shapes, right? A liquid takes the shape of its vessel. And then you get to be mindful. You get to be mindful of what kind of vessel you want to be, what kind of shape you want your soul to take. And that is an everyday process. That's something that you never, ever get to stop doing. Because every single day, is another opportunity to wake up and to pour your soul into this vessel, right? To do the work, not in the hopes of reward, but again, in hopes of becoming who you are. It's such a trip. The view is so pretty. No, you. No, you. Bless you. Thank you for enjoying this pretty view with me. Like, my perspective is a little bit different than yours, of course, but I'm happy to be having this moment with your friends. One day, we'll have like two camera views. I don't know how technologically complicated that is. It doesn't sound like it would be that difficult. It would just have to be something that is like maybe even there's already like multiple like multicams. So I'll have like multiple cameras. One of them will be like on my shoulder or something. So you friends can just like click a button and tune into my POV. That would be ideal in my mind. Pattern interruption. Yeah, dude, the reframe. The reframe. Sometimes we have to take a moment and just reframe. You'll see, because it gets so spirally, right? And then sometimes you'll find yourself, bullshitting yourself in one way or another. And if you really just think about it for a second, it's almost like you find yourself silly, being like, wow, wow, really? Really? You believe that? I got into the conversation. I didn't notice myself putting my underwear on over my pants. Oh, Duck Dad. Maybe your Superman, calling has finally kicked in, bro. You're just trying to complete the look at this point. I respect it. Captain Underpants or Quailman, yeah. I like how, me and Sam are on the same frequency. I like, but me and Sam are what's the word I'm looking for? Frequently on the same frequency. Yeah, yeah, words. It's a blessing being able to share these moments with your friends, and I'm having a good time actually. This is a nice perspective. It feels a little bit different. It feels like I'm safe in a weird way. It feels like I'm being a little cheeky monkey, sitting under my tree. There's mulberries growing over the top of me. My little cannabis plants are doing relatively well. Some of them got battered by the raindrops, and I'm like three of them got really battered. One of them I'm trying to like shimmy up with a little stick, hoping that she makes it. But I'm super grateful that they didn't dry out. Like I was stressing out about going on this little Christmas with my family, and I was like imagining myself running back or running to my plants, to give them some water as soon as we arrived back home. And then when we got here, they were absolutely soaked. Captain Underpants for sure. Captain Underpants is a G. I feel it. Me and my little safe space. I can do whatever I want to because I feel like I cannot be perfectly seen. What am I doing? Only I can know. You can but speculate. So is Melt Prime going to take an interest in farming or production aspect of bud? No, I mean, you know, it's not actually impossible, Sam. Like my dad has the rights technically to grow 30, 30 plants. You're allowed to grow, I think, 6 per person in the household. So 30 plants you can grow. That's a lot of plants, right? That's more than enough. But I don't know if he is going to put the time in, Sam. That's the thing. However, I do plan on growing good bud this year. I'm gonna try. I bought the bags. I followed Brother Duck Dad's advice and ended up getting the 7-gallon bags. I bought myself 10 7-gallon bags. So yeah, I think that's gonna be my max. I wanna run 10 adult plants. Maybe I'll have like 20, between 20 and 30 little babies running, and then I'll pick, the healthiest, and then of course the females, so I can get those good, beautiful little flowers. I made some gemmerthee, ginger tea, like I had when I was sick in Amsterdam. It hit the spot. Were you sick recently, Duck Dad? I'm sorry to hear that. I'm happy that the ginger tea at least hit the spot with the bear. We have Kristen here too. Hey, dear friend, bless you. Melt Prime is the funniest descriptor of Papa Melt yet. I do like it. The family also likes Melt Prime. There's also Melt the Elder to consider. Elder Melt. Elder Melter. El Melter. Elder Melter. Hello, kitty cat. Hiya, Shelby Katterkies. Can you see her well? She's sitting at my feet. I might be covering her. I hope not. Let's get Jet open again. Melt the Elder. What would be my favorite? I do like Melt Prime. Papa Melt also works. Of course, the Mama Melt or Melt Mama, works because of the MMs. And Melt Prime works. I'm not sure if I'm ever sick or not sick. Haggard. Like there's this weird. My dad calls it a muti, which is like cumin, ginger, I think paprika, ginger, lemon juice, and I think baking powder that he mixes up in a cup, and then he like takes it like a shot basically, and it's absolutely atrocious. Like it makes you feel like you're boiling on the inside, but yeah, it kills whatever is making you sick. Like that boiling on the inside experience is almost like it's so disgusting that the sickness is like hell no, bro. We're leaving this person. They have some craziness inside of their bellies. I haven't taken that remedy many many times myself, but I need to get the proper recipe from my dad if I'm going to go into the city probably. Have you friends been sick a lot this year? Me and my brother were having this conversation last night. I don't think I got sick once this year. Do fact check me though. Felt pretty healthy this year. I had some pains, but that's to be expected. Wow. Sam just said she's been sick only like 3 times in her adult life. It doesn't happen very often. I'm happy to hear that, Sam. That's really cool. You didn't have COVID at all? I had COVID twice. Once due to my dad, me taking care of my dad, and then once when Christian came back from his work getaway and he gave me COVID. But then that was the last time I was really sick. The last time I had COVID was the last time I was sick. And that was no, yeah, last year, November, end of November. Last year, end of November was the last time I was really sick. Like sick to the point where I felt like I was having a hard time coping with reality and showing up for, things kind of vibe. COVID breached our inner circle and had a pretty vicious immune response. And I had a pretty vicious immune response for about 2 days. Then it was over and I was fine. You must have some killer T cells. Some of your friends might not get that joke, but they're actually called killer T cells. But Sam has killer T cells. Absolutely killer. That's basically like the library, like the police. They know the information, right? For instance, maybe you're in an area where there's a bunch of the same pollen. So your killer T cells might end up taking the information of that pollen and downregulating your immune response because it knows it's not that big of a threat. Where the other way around, if you get COVID, it might see it as like a big problem and then identify those little molecules as threats. And then from that moment on forward, it has that COVID, threat as a piece of information. It knows it. So the next time that you are exposed to the same virus, it can kind of act quicker than it's been able to the previous time. There's actually some therapies that update your T cells for you, you know, so I do believe that things are going to get better. There's also now mRNA trials happening to cure cancers. It is individualized, you know, so you have to have your cancer treated for you by RNA, but at the same time, we're curing cancer right now. That's what we're busy with, curing cancer, just casually. I actually wonder if I had symptoms of long COVID. I feel like I've been so slow to my recovery on my body since I got it last year. Last year I got COVID the week before Halloween. Yeah, kitty kitty. What you saying? Huh? Oh, yeah, meow. You go, kitty. Hmm? You want more attention? Oh, yeah, meow. You're being too cute. You're distracting me. Took my gloves off to say I appreciate your T cell pun, and so did the Kufo. I'm happy to hear that. Thank you, Doug Dad. Yeah. Yeah. Killer T cells approve. They're being like, yeah, yeah, we are killer. We're so killer. Thank you, my little killer T cells. Yeah, kitty. She's making bread on my leg. You're being a little cutie. You're so cute. Yeah, you're so cute. You're such a sweetie, sweetie. So sweetie, sweet. Oh, meow. Such a cute meow. Oh, meow, meow. You doing a purr? You doing a purr, kitty, kitty? What a meow, kitty. Okay. You want more? Is this enough? Mm, I'm busy here, little sweetie. I'm doing some things. What's your meow, kitty? Man, so blessed to have little animals. I do believe animals help us in our process of becoming. Surely they do. I think they make it a little bit easier to not be bad people. I mean, maybe the opposite is true for others, I guess. I'm thinking about like a baby slowly but surely getting used to the fact that they have to be gentle with like their little animals, and how that awareness of being gentle with something else, you know, translates to all other aspects of life. Right? You don't get anything for being gentle technically. Like the cat isn't going to give you something for being gentle with her. I guess other than her attention. Is that you getting something? I'm busy here. The first rule of being catted is that you are only busy with cat. It's true. She's being like, bro, when you stop and why are you not using that hand of yours? Hey, she's actually trying to bite me, you silly thing. She's like trying to like bite my hand to get her to to get my hand to keep petting her. You can't do that, yo. Like that's like playing with fire. I don't like getting bit. I had noticed at least she was like opening her mouth. Like I felt her little teetsies pushing down on my skin when I pulled my arm away. Freaking kitties. Took my gloves off. Love is true. Man, the reward for our work. Is it work? Taking care of your animals? I guess it is a little bit to some, right? Thinking about how my mom didn't want pets for the longest time because she was tripping out about her being the one that has to be the only one that takes care of them. I'm so distracted right now. Kitty, kitty. Like I'm going through like such a weird mental trip right now where I'm like looking at this little creature and like thinking about like is there an inner narrative happening? Does the kitty like me? Right? Does it think to itself, this is a cool human, I'm gonna go and try and get some attention. I could be anywhere right now. I could be sleeping on some comfy little blanket. No. I wanna I wanna sit with the little monkey on a rock. That's what I wanna do. That's gonna be my derivative. I feel so lucky and yet distracted, where I'm conflicted at the same time. Where's your queedy queedy? Where's your meow? Where's your sweetie? Hey, Diana Views. What a blessing seeing you. Hello, Milton friends. We missed you too. It's nice having you here right now. Your message came through at 4:44 p.m. Always a peaceful ambience out there. I'm happy to share it. It's going to be the last little bit of it, Christos. We might be moving soon, so hopefully we'll find a new space that is beautiful as well, but we're gonna have to savor these moments while we have them. Loves, my father passed away yesterday. If you can please send me love, light, and peace. Today is particularly hard. Diana, I'm so sorry for your loss, dear friend. I know there's not much we can say to necessarily make it better, but love is true. That this pain you're feeling right now is only possible if you did love your dad. The reminders I like to go into is the fact of their influence, their work, right? That you are who you are, Diana, because of your dad's influence. And by continuing to be, you are actively still part of that process of becoming. So in that way, your dad continues to live here with us. And then the other analogy that I really like to share in these circumstances is that one of the stars. How when we look into the night sky and we look upon those stars, many of them, if not most of them, have already burnt out. They're already, at least physically, gone. And yet, still, night after night, for millions of more years, we can go outside and look upon the light that they have shared. In the same way, I would like to think of our lost loved ones as well. Or even though their physical forms might not be here with us, their light continues to shine and continues to be seen. Thank you, Diana, for allowing us to send you some love in this moment right now. That's my dad, 444. Love is true. Sending you so many blessings, Diana. Do you have any siblings? I'm curious if you're going through this loss alone. How's your mother doing? If these questions are a little bit too uncomfortable, I do understand as well. Thank you, Diana. Like, seriously, again, if not for your presence in this moment, there would be no that moment. Leaving my daughter from this earth is one of my biggest fears. You better believe that all of the energy that is left, his physical body, went into becoming your Patronus. A younger brother with Down syndrome. Can't imagine how hard it must be for him as well. Did he live with his parents? Like losing dad, especially when you're that sensitive and emotional. I hope he has support as well, Diana. Sending you both so much love. Big hugs, Diana. My little one's middle name is actually Diane. How about that? Must be hitting you extra hard right now in that case, Dad. Especially since, like that was like a part of the conversation me and my brother had with my dad yesterday as well. Like getting real about yesterday, day before yesterday, getting real about the fact that, my dad is going to pass away eventually, right? That's the inevitability. So, how do we leave this world? Will we have daughters that will miss us? Will we leave this world a better place? Better off because of our presence, because of the light we chose to share. My mother and I are not very close because I got very protective of my dad. Yo, I'm sorry to hear that, Diana. It's interesting how it goes one or the other way with parents in that way sometimes. Right? Like me and my mom, we get along well enough, you know. Whereas me and my dad is very hard as well. And I also have that protective streak in myself that wants to try and protect my mom and, ensure that she's happy and she has a good life. I believe the worst case scenario, and I'm thinking about a link that Joy Vive sent me of this tradition in Bulgaria where they dress up as these monsters and they dance to chase the demons away. And then they ask this lady about what she believes demons are. And the first word she says is that demons or a demon is when people don't want to spend time together. A demon is poverty. A demon is pain and sickness. Like really like anchoring what they consider demons, into the real world. And like the first words being a demon is not wanting to spend time together. That one really hit me because I feel like those demons exist in a lot of our family environments, unfortunately. And it's almost like we invite them, right? It's like we're like leaving the door open by not inviting each other in. Does that make sense? Instead of being open with people and being present with them, we're allowing this sense of separation in. Does that make sense? No? That's the way I'm trying to see it right now, at the very least. Kill demons by spending time with those that you love. Isn't that cool? Right? We can make a whole TV show out of it, even. I didn't expect it. I was just with him, and he suffered a severe stroke. Diana, I feel that's even worse, right? I had this conversation with a friend. Well, now a friend, you know, someone I met during Christmas. It was one of the boyfriends of a second cousin. I think that's how it works. Or like the, I mean, technically they're not even married. I don't know that, not technically anything of mine, but one of the boyfriends, mentioned that his dad had a few like heart surgeries and then had a triple bypass surgery as well, and then lived for like 8 years. And he went to him, like spent some time with him, and he looked good and he looked healthy, and he was completely, energetic and present, after having been super bad, like before at least, when he had those surgeries, like the level of capacity was night and day. And then, this friend went to work and then he received a call that his dad also had a stroke and was just in that moment completely dead. Like that shock of having spent that time with your dad, Diana, and then losing him. The unexpected energy, where if, maybe your parent was suffering with cancer or fighting some sort of terminal disease, at least there is this sense of certainty, you know what's happening and you almost have this room to prepare for it and have the conversations you're supposed to have. And losing your dad that quickly, I can't imagine how hard it is, dear friend. We're holding your heart in this moment. Know that you're not alone. I like to believe that everything exists with infinity. So that means that there is, within reality, at least technically, your dad in this moment here with us right now as well. Right? I don't know if it's a ghost or if it's the old soul looking at us through the lens of what used to be your dad and still gaining more experience and being proud of you and the love that you're choosing to share. But thank you for being vulnerable with us in this moment. Diane, what's your dad's favorite food? I would like to suspend the no talking about food rule because the deepest connection in a man are between his stomach, heart, and mind. No, Dad, I will not stop you from talking about this right now in this moment because maybe, if anything, asking Diana about her dad's favorite food, one way to maybe like feel a little bit of comfort or some closure might be to cook his favorite meal and then have it with your family or something, you know. Maybe it could be a cool way to honor him. So I kind of like that actually, like that. I'm in charge of everything for him, and I'm blessed to have that option. Mom is bitter. I feel because they're divorced, but now wanted to be involved in his last wishes. And I knew what he wanted, not her. He loved Colombian food, steak and pastas. Right, 100%. Bless, Diana. I'm sorry you're having to go through this. Like, I feel like that's the roughest thing as well, right? Like, maybe you go through this traumatic loss and then, you know, you have family members that ends up making it worse with of greed and expectations. Sending you strength during that journey as well, dear Diana. I didn't expect it. Yeah, again, sorry. Hi, everyone. Woke up and saw the moon. Then a cloud passed over it. Just wanted to say hi to all. Bless to you, dear Nancy. It's nice having you here too, dear friend. I will make it a point to try some Colombian steak and such. When that happens, I'll think of this day and Dad, and I can enjoy it together. Bless. Thank you so much, Dad, for showing that level of consideration, Brother Bear. Sorry to hear Mel say someone's dad died. I'm so sorry. It's okay, Nancy. Love is true, right? Maybe in hearing about someone else's dad passing, it can allow us a little bit of insight about how we love our dads, right? Maybe not all of us have good relationships with our dads, me included. You friends know, but I don't want my dad to die, right? So maybe we can reach out to our dads, just tell them, hey, love you, happy you're alive. Even if they die a second later, right? Having shared that moment is still going to be better than not having. Especially, we're not going to get anything out of it necessarily, but it is going to be beneficial in our process of becoming. hmm It was like a light switch. I love you guys so much. He was so strong and loving and just a big giver to everyone. Thank you. Sorry for taking up your chat space and time, guys. You have absolutely nothing to apologize for, Diana. This space is here to allow ourselves to feel seen and felt and heard. That this is also a part of our process of becoming. Loss, the loss of a parent. I don't know if I am, I don't know if you ever can be ready for the loss of a parent. Maybe that is my own bias as well, but I hope to keep them around as long as possible. Remind your parents of that as well, dear friends. It sounds like he was a wonderful person, absolutely. Thank you for sharing about him with us. Thank you for echoing that sentiment. Thank you, Jovan. So much love. I know it's difficult, sending you so much comfort. No worries, Diana. These fond memories are internal, and it is voices like yours that make it so. Exactly. In that spirit, would you be willing to share his name with us, Diana? Right. Thinking about the Coco perspective. I'm probably, butchering it right now, but like the Coco movie showed me this world where you keep your ancestors alive by saying their names, by remembering them. So, like the internet remembers forever, Diana. So, technically, by saying his name in this moment, for the rest of reality, if the internet stays alive, if the internet becomes something else, if this information stays and whatever that thing is, your dad will be remembered. So please do. Carlos Humberto. Humberto. Carlos Humberto. Thank you, Carlos Humberto, for the impact you have had on this world. Thank you for bringing Diana into it, for allowing this experience to be right now. If you weren't, neither would this moment. And if love was not true, nothing would be at all. Thank you for the love that you've shared with the world. Thank you, Diana, for allowing us to honor him as well. Diana, never be sorry to share. Right now, it may seem like you were only helping yourself, but your conversation has flown through me and many different perspectives. His last text was wishing me a Merry Christmas and a voice message singing a ballad to me. And then that was it, just like that. I'm happy that you got to have that moment, Diana. At least you weren't like on not speaking terms with your dad, right? Like you were so disheveled, irritated, frustrated with your dad that you didn't even want to send him, Merry Christmas messages. I feel like this sounds like the best case scenario, for moments shared with your dad and for connection had before his passing. This space is yours too, Diana. Take the time and space that you need. We're here for you. No sorries. And worry and hopefully no worries too. Hakuna Matata. Love you guys. Blessings to all. So much. Thank you, dear friends. Let's pull a card of your dad in mind as well. Let's see if this is going to be the perfect synchronicity. It means no worries for the rest of your days. It's our problem free philosophy. Hakuna Matata. Card pull time. This one. Sanctuary. We pulled the card of Sanctuary. Card number 43. Green. And upside down so. Let me come and show. Ooh. Clickety clackety. I can feel my backety. Oh, oh, yo. Like, you'll see. It's like I'm actually hurting a little bit. Let me just make sure this isn't standing at that angle anymore. There's a cool bug climbing the street. There's a puppy gonna try and terrorize me. Hey, you silly. You silly. You silly. This is how it got pulled. That's my brother's favorite movie. I got goosebumps. I was sleeping over for a few months, now with my daughters. We were so close. My best friend ever. Like, I'm tripping out right now as well, Diana. The universe is a weird way of communicating to us. Sanctuary. Like, the way I'm interpreting this message right now is that your dad is finding himself in Sanctuary, the peace dove. Like we were talking about DNA as well today, weren't we? We were talking about like curing cancer with RNA treatments, right? So it's DNA, yeah. Let's read what it means. Let's see if the goosebumps are going to deepen. Oh, put this away. Card number 43. Refuge and renewal. The upside down meaning goes, you might be moving so fast that you are at risk for accidents. Slow down. Slow down. This green cathedral is offered as a sacred space and refuge from the world for a time. It invokes the energy of deep connection with nature and represents a place of rest and renewal. DNA spirals connect the peace dove above with the place of heart that dwells within every one of us. The double helix of our DNA spins a remembering of our divinity and accelerates our participation in conscious evolution. You have much to do upon the earth. Realize that however in tune you are with evolving purpose, however fast you are shifting paradigms, there will be times when it is necessary for you to retreat in order to renew your vitality and reconnect with your sacred center. Set aside time for stillness. Allow a sense of peaceful tranquility to pervade your consciousness. You may want to walk into the forest and listen to the voice of nature. Sit quietly, and in that energy, feel how your mind is calmed and your spirit renewed. Listen to the messages that you receive in this meditative interval. Allow that simply being is at least as important as all the doing that consumes most lives. If you are unable to be in nature, find a place of sanctuary in your home or city. Use this card to symbolically assist you in evoking a sense of renewal and equanimity. Remember that the emotion of love and compassion influence the harmonics of the heart and the renewal of life force. Mindfully honor the sanctuary of quiet moments. Hmm. And just like that, our stream has come to its end. Let's see if I can get messages to load again. Yeah. We got to spend a few moments in silence. We got to spend a few moments in music. It looked like a DNA strand. 43 Sanctuary. Carlos sounded like a beautiful human. I'm honored to get to know him, to get to know of him. All right, I'm totally adding clickety clackety. I heard my blackety to my daily denizens. Thank you, Doctor. Yeah, take it. It's free. Oh, it's all yours. There it is. Jovan has blessed us with our Shan message. It goes, have the most rewarding day. Everyone, you are for really realsers. So truly, superly, massively, duperly, muchly, fantastically fancied, marvelous, melt more. And all of you, oh so very majestically, transcendentally, eloquently, harmoniously, celestially, benevolently, omnisciently, unifyingly, ethereally, authentically wholesome, humanimal critter creatures becoming the reward of your work. Wow. I think that might be one of my favorites yet. Hot diggity damn. Transcendently, eloquently, harmoniously, celestially, benevolently, omnisciently, unifyingly, ethereally, authentically wholesome, humanimal critter creatures. Hot diggity damn. Drive-by lovins to you, dear Joe Schmo. We had a little bit of a different vibe during stream today. I sat away from the camera so I can feel a little bit less under pressure. Pushing down on me, pushing down on you. Under pressure. It was nice doing the stream with you friends. Seems like we got some more rain clouds. Getting all stoked up. Get to see my face again for a second. Look at that. That was what I was looking at just now when playing the karimba. And then on the other side, it seems like we're gonna get some rain. Yeah. This is the punched in one, right? Yeah, technically. Big, strong, super squeeze for all of you kind souls. Blessed to every single one of you, too. Thank you, dear friends, for spending the day with me. I'll see you, friends, again tomorrow. And again tomorrow. And again. And again and again. And again and again and again. Until we become who we're supposed to be. Right? And then as soon as we become who we're supposed to be, there's going to be more becoming. It's going to be a long ride, dear friends. I'm happy to be honored with such cool people. Sending you blessings. Until tomorrow.